I'm Maisie and you're watching Bare Essentials this week. Manchester City Council is forced to cut nearly 2,000 jobs. The Retirement Age is axed and Vince Cable takes on the Telegraph. Manchester City Council is the first in the UK to announce the need to reduce its workforce, with over 2,000 staff jobs expected to go. The Labour-run council blamed changes in the local authority grant system, stating that they need to find an extra £110 million worth of savings in 2011-2012. That's £60 million more than they expected last year. The council have stated that they want to avoid compulsory redundancy, but that they need to quickly reduce their staff levels by 17%. All staff are being asked to consider voluntary redundancy or early retirement for the over 55. Back in December, the coalition government said no council would face cuts of more than 8.5%. But Manchester City Council said it was among 5 of the worst hit authorities in England and in reality faced 25% cuts in the next 2 years. In 2011-12, Manchester will still receive a central government grant of £713 per head compared to example of £125 per head in Wokingham. But Manchester Central MP Tony Lloyd said, Manchester have received an astonishingly unfair settlement. Shadow Local Government Secretary Caroline Flint said, councils are working hard to find savings by cutting top salaries and merging backroom functions and services. She went on to say that the breakneck speed and size of the Tory-led government's reckless, front-loaded cuts to the council will hit local jobs, economic growth and the vital frontline services people rely on. The government confirmed today that the default retirement age is going to be phased out later this year. Businesses will no longer be able to dismiss staff simply for reaching the age of 65. The Employment Relations Minister, Edward Davey, was keen to point out that as of now, you're still able, under the Employment Rights Act of 1996, to fairly dismiss someone if you go through the proper process. And one of the reasons you can dismiss someone fairly includes capability. The move away from the DRA was thought of by the coalition government in July as a measure to curb the ageing population problem and the shortfall in the pension savings pot. This initiative will begin on the 6th of April. However, staff that are given warning prior to this date can still be retired by this method as late as the 1st of October. Individual employers will still be able to operate a compulsory retirement age, providing they can objectively justify it. The Department of Business offered 2 examples where this might be the case: for air traffic controllers and for police officers. Employee groups have called on the government to delay introducing this change. John Cridland, Director General Designator of the CBI, said the government's new guidances were inadequate. There is not enough clarity for employers to deal with difficult questions on performance, he said. Less than 3 months is not enough time for businesses to put in place new procedures. The PCC have confirmed that they've received an official complaint by Liberal Democrat President Tim Farron against the Telegraph in the wake of the Vince Cable tapes. The business secretary was secretly taped while in a meeting with what he believed were constituents, during which he made the controversial claim that he had declared war on Rupert Murdoch. These comments led to the removal of his power to rule on Mr Murdoch's bid to take control of B-Sky B, as well as reopening the debate on what are fair tactics for journalists to employ. Mr Cable later told his local newspaper that the Telegraph had completely undermined the work of local MPs, while the newspaper argues that the story was clearly in the public's interest. Other Liberal Democrat ministers take making unguarded remarks were Norman Baker, David Heath and Paul Burstow. The PCC confirmed that they've received 200 complaints over this matter. And finally, UK interest rates remain at 0.5%. I'm Maisie, thank you ever so much for watching this week's episode. Take care and I'll see you next week. Bye.